The jailbreak was shown off at this year's Power of Community event, and Power of Community is essentially an international security and hacking conference located in South Korea. Anyway, shortly preceding this event, a video surfaced online demonstrating KeenLab's awesome work. Now in the video, you can see that on stage we have Lang Chain, a security researcher and developer that is part of and representing KeenLab for this demonstration. In the video, you can in fact see that he is using the latest iPhone 10, and as he goes into at the very beginning of the video, he has updated the phone to Apple's latest software, being iOS 11.1.1. And unfortunately, the video isn't in very high quality, so it's a bit hard to make out at times, but you can get the gist. He starts out by going into the Settings app and verifying that it is on Apple's latest public firmware. He then navigates to the KeenLab utility, opens that, clicks Jailbreak, and then once he exits out of the app at the very end, you can see that Cydia is now on the home screen. Now, I'm impressed that a jailbreak for the iPhone 10 has been accomplished this soon, but I'm not surprised at the fact it was performed and created by Lang Chen of KeenLab. This team was also responsible for the iOS 11 Beta 2 and iOS 10.3.2 jailbreak demos, and even recently the team has had some major success at this year's Pwn to Own contest, coming in first place for their hacks on the iPhone 7. They were able to breach Safari and most notably have an app automatically install and persist through a reboot simply by connecting to a Wi-Fi network. And this may be good news towards an untethered jailbreak, but for now the community doesn't know too much about the jailbreak that the team demoed aside from what can be seen in the video. From the video, we can see that the utility very closely resembles the one which we first saw in their iOS 11 Beta 2 jailbreak demos. Now, it's unclear at the time if the same exploits for the previous demo were used in this jailbreak or if those exploits were patched and new ones were added. Like I said, there weren't any details released along the lines of how this jailbreak works. Lang Chen hasn't put together any write-up on the situation and definitely hasn't publicly released any information about the exploits or vulnerabilities being used to create the jailbreak. But in the end, this confirms to the community that it is possible to jailbreak the iPhone 10, as well as Apple's latest mobile operating system firmware. Secondly, KeenLab has the necessary exploits and escalation privileges to produce said jailbreak and has publicly made everyone, including Apple, aware of their success. Now, here comes the big downside. The reality of the situation is that it remains very unlikely that this jailbreak will actually ever see the light of day in terms of it being released into public domain and being consumed by iDevice owners running iOS 11.1.1. Given the nature of the conference and the fact that the jailbreak is actually attributed to a well-known security company, KeenLab, who has previously demoed jailbreaks for both iOS 11 and 10.3.2, it's much more likely that the exploits and vulnerabilities will be sold off to other companies or directly to Apple itself as part of the bug bounty program that the company runs, or just to be kept for private research purposes. This was also reaffirmed by another KeenLab member on Reddit in a comment on our jailbreak, where it is reiterated that this is a private jailbreak with no current or future plans to release it to the public. So while there is no set timeline of when a utility might be released to the public for iOS 11, it is at least reassuring and may spark a little bit of confidence into some developers that iOS 11.1.1 can be jailbroken, and furthermore, it can be jailbroken on the iPhone 10. The fact that the iPhone 10 can be jailbroken means the new A11 Bionic chip does have vulnerabilities that can be exploited to offer users a jailbreak. And since the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 both have the same processor, it's looking like the iPhone 8 shouldn't be hard to jailbreak as well. Now, just to reiterate, there is no news that a jailbreak utility is being released anytime soon for 11.1.1, so do not update in anticipation of jailbreaking. If you really want to jailbreak, stay with the iOS version that you're currently on, or downgrade if possible to the lowest firmware still being signed for your device. The example being iPhone 6s users can still downgrade to iOS 10.3.3 if so desired. And once again, since there is no jailbreak being released publicly, do not go looking for a download link. There's already a ton of fake YouTube channels and websites mimicking KeenLab's logo and name in an attempt to gain ad revenue or install malicious software onto your device. So be aware of what site you're on and only pay attention to sources that report on official jailbreak information. If you want to stay updated on KeenLab